Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. I am Shravani, working as assistant professor in chemistry at Tara Government College, Sangareddy. We have been learning about carboxylic acids and derivatives for the past few classes. So let's get into the last phases of carboxylic acids. Till now we have seen the acids part and now onwards we will see the derivatives part. Okay, so our class contains the carboxylic acid derivatives. There are famously four types of carboxylic acid derivatives as per our syllabus. We have acid halides and acid amides and acid anhydrides, acid esters. Here you can see that the formula of carboxylic acid is RCOOH. Here the carboxylic acid derivatives are obtained by the substitution of this hydroxyl group of carboxylic acid, that is OH group of RCOOH, with appropriate substituents, so that the appropriate substituents will be called as acid halides, amides and anhydrides and esters. Let us see what is the general formula and how they will be formed by replacement of OH group. So here I have highlighted the OH group which is to be replaced in a red color. Now you can see this is the group which is going to be replaced. So first of all, let us see what are acid halides. So acid halides are formed. Here you can see halide, that means it is derived from acid when a halide group substitutes this hydroxyl group of acid. That means OH will be substituted with a halide. Halide is generally represented with X. So you can see here this is RCOX, and generally halogens, for this purpose we can have either chlorine or bromine. Of course fluorine and iodine also come under halogen, but their reactivity is either too stable or unstable. That's why these medium reactive halogens are considered for our learning purpose. So among these, chlorides are most famous. So you can observe here that the OH group has been replaced with the halide group which is X. Okay. And next, amides. So amide, it is a derivative of acid where the OH group is substituted with NH2. That is a amine, primary amine group is substituted. Therefore, altogether CO and NH2 will give you amide. And next is anhydride. So the OH group is substituted with OCOR. R can be same as the R of acid or could be different. Okay. So the anhydride will be, this is basically formed by the dehydration of two carboxylic acid molecules. And next ester will be having the general formula of RCOOR. And here R could be same as the R of acid or could be different. So let us see one by one and also the general properties of each of these. So coming to the introduction part, carboxylic acid derivatives, these are the class of carboxylic acid derivatives which are derived by replacing the OH group of COOH. Okay, we have already seen when we are seeing the content. So carboxylic acid derivatives are nothing but they are the derivatives of carboxylic acid when the OH group of COOH is replaced with an halogen, then they are called as acid halide, amine, then they are called as amides, OCOOR, they are called as anhydrides, and OR, they are called as acid esters. Okay, so OH replaced with halogen, acid halide, OH replaced with NH2, acid amide, OH replaced with OCOR, anhydride, OH replaced with OR, acid ester. So here is the pictorial representation. So this is our carboxylic acid RCOOH. So when OH is replaced with X, we will get, just imagine, cut OH and add X. So it will be RCOX. This is called as acid halide. Okay. And next OH is replaced with NH2. OH is replaced with NH2. Cut this OH and add NH2. So we will get RCONH2. Then acid will become acidamide. And OH when replaced with OCOR prime or OCOR, where R is indicated either to have similarity with this R or to have difference with that R. So when OH is replaced with OCOR, we'll get RCO, OCOOR. This is anhydride. And next, when OH is replaced with OR, then we will get acid ester. So it is simply, you can have the easier remembering when OH is replaced with appropriate groups, then respective acid derivatives are formed. Okay. Next, coming to the general properties. So what are the general properties? Since these all are derived by replacement of OH from COOH, we can have vice versa also. That means the acid derivatives upon addition of water, which is hydrolysis, will give back our parent acid. Okay. So acid derivatives upon addition of water, they will give the acid back. And they have this acyl group. This acyl group is common. If you observe all the functional groups RCOX, RCONH2, RCOOR, RCOOCOR, all these will have this RCO as the common group. So that's why, and it is called as acyl group. Hence, all the acid derivatives are commonly named as acyl derivatives also. So what is acyl? It is RCO. So this group is called as acyl group. Okay. Hence all the acid derivatives can also be called as acyl derivatives. And their famous and their general property is that they participate in nucleophilic substitution reactions. So all these acid derivatives, they participate in nucleophilic substitution reactions. What is a nucleophilic substitution reaction? So suppose this G is the group which is replaced with OH for all the respective, X for acid halide, NH2 for acidamide, and OR for ester, OCOR for anhydride. So if this G of acid derivative part is in reaction with or in occurrence with a nucleophile, what is a nucleophile? Which has a pair of electron or a negative charge. So when it comes with contact with such a nucleophile, this group is easily replaced by this incoming nucleophile. So hence this nucleophile will get attached to the carbonyl carbon. So we will get RCONU. That means nucleophile is getting added to acyl group. What is this called? Acylation. That means an acyl group is added to the nucleophile. So addition of acyl group is nothing but acylation. So as these acid derivatives undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions, these groups are easily eliminated as best leaving groups. Hence, they allow other strong nucleophiles to substitute these groups. Therefore, you will have an acyl group exchanged with this nucleophile, and whatever the derivative part, it will be removed as the base. And next, we have some other general property. We have seen that all these carboxylic acid derivatives undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions. But what makes or what decides their reactivity? We have 4 types of carboxylic acid derivatives. So will all of them undergo with same pace or all of them undergo with same reactivity towards a nucleophile? Their nucleophilicity or their nucleophilic substitution reaction, the reactivity or their kinetics is decided by the basicity of leaving group. What is the basicity? It is the ability to give electrons, to give the electron pair. Okay, so if we have a good basicity, it will give electrons stronger to the other one which is in need of electrons. Let us suppose the carbonyl carbon. So a stronger base group will add strongly towards this carbocation, and a weaker base will be weakly bonded to that. So when we have among all the four acid derivatives, if we have such a group which is a weak base, therefore it is weakly bonded to the CO carbonyl group of acid, then it can be easily eliminated as a leaving group. So the ones which have stronger basicity will have stronger bond with this carboxylic acid carbonyl group. Hence, they are weak leaving groups. But when we have a weaker base, they will be easily eliminated due to the less stronger interaction with the carbonyl group. Okay. So, what is the order of basicity? The basicity order is that NH2 minus. So, we have RCO, we have RCO. This is our RCO. So, this is the group. Okay. RCO, this is the group. So, here when you have, instead of this group, when you have NH2 or RCO minus or X minus. So if you just imagine the periodic table, the electron pair is concentrated on nitrogen, here on oxygen, and here also on oxygen, here on halogen. So among these we know that nitrogen is highly electronegative, therefore it is a good base, strong base. And then oxygen, and also here oxygen. Why this oxygen is lesser compared to this? Because it has a resonance with the carbonyl oxygen. Therefore, it will reduce the amount of electron density on this oxygen. Therefore, it is normal alkoxide is better electron donating than this carboxylate. So, nitrogen first, then oxygen, of course, halogen later. So, therefore, the basicity will be decreasing in this order. The highest basicity will be for NH2 minus. So, it will be strongly bonded to this carbonyl group. It will be strongly bonded to this carbonyl group. So, when you have a stronger bond, you cannot cut this easily. That means it cannot be leave. It cannot be eliminated easily. So, this will be eliminated easily because it has a weak one. Therefore, our order of reactivity will be reverse of the order of basicity. That means acid halides will be easily undergoing reactions compared to acid anhydrides, esters and amides. Okay. So, since the order of basicity is amides, esters, anhydrides and halides, the respective conjugate base, the basicity of the conjugate bases is this way. That's why the reactivity will be the reverse way. So the only concept is that if you have a stronger base, it will be bonded strongly towards this carbonyl carbon. So which will give a stronger bond. Hence the nucleophile will be difficult to be eliminated. Therefore, the weaker base will be easily removed. That means it will participate in the reaction easily. Okay. So these are the general properties. Let us start with the nomenclature. So first of all, we will go with acid halides. So the acid halides, they have the general formula of RCOX. X can be for our purpose chlorine or bromine, because iodine, it is too bigger size, it will be mostly forming this ion type kind, and fluorine, it is too small and it is highly electronegative. So therefore it is a complex system. Therefore for medium we will take chlorine and bromine, and mostly chlorides are the famous ones of acid halides. Okay. So for this nomenclature of this acid halide, we have two types for every organic compound, that is IUPAC nomenclature, as well as we have common system. So coming to the IUPAC nomenclature of acid halide, how it is named. The oic acid from the parent acid is replaced with oil halide. Okay, so the acid halide, it is derived from some carboxylic acid. Let us say it is a parent acid. So we will be having the parent acid IUPAC name and just cut the oic acid from the parent acid name and replace it with oil halide. Okay, and coming to this common, we have to replace this ic acid from the parent acid with il halide. Let us see with examples. For example, we have HCOOH. We know that HCOOH, it is one carbon having carboxylic acid and the one carbon having hydrocarbon is meth. Therefore, its corresponding carboxylic acid is named as methanoic acid. We have seen this in the nomenclature of carboxylic acid. And when the OH of methanoic acid is replaced with Cl, okay, OH is replaced with Cl, then we will have HCOCl. What I said, the IUPAC, this is the IUPAC name and we know that this is the common name. First let us look into the IUPAC system. So how the suffix will be? The oic acid will be replaced with oil halide. So methanoic acid. Cut the oic acid, then it will be methane. Oil halide. So methanoil halide. What is our halide? We have chloride. So that's why it will be methanoil chloride. So this way we can name our acid halides from the respective parent carboxylic acid. Coming to the common, we have seen that ic acid is replaced with il halide. So we have formic acid. So cut the ic acid and add il halide. So it will become formyl halide and our halide is chlorine here. So it will be formyl chloride. Okay, I hope you got it easily. Let us have another example also. It is a 2-carbon carboxylic acid. The 2-carbon hydrocarbon is ethane and its corresponding carboxylic acid is called as ethanoic acid, and therefore when you replace this OH with Cl, its respective acid halide will be ethanoyl chloride, CH3COCl, ethanoyl chloride. And coming to the common system, this CH3COOH is called as acetic and ic acid, cut it and add il halide. So acetyl chloride. So CH3COCl can be either called as ethanoyl chloride or acetyl chloride. So this way we can name the acid halides. Next we will go for acid anhydrides. Acid anhydrides are generally, by the name itself we can say that it is anhydride, that is a removal of water from carboxylic acid. From how many? 2 molecules of carboxylic acid. We can have either 2 monocarboxylic acids or 1 dicarboxylic acid is also possible. So how we name these acid anhydrides? It has the common naming for both IUPAC and common suffixes. So here we have to remove the acid from the parent acid and it is replaced with anhydride. That's it. It is very simple. So whatever we have, the acid is replaced and anhydride is added to that. Let us see. So we have CH3COOH. It is ethanoic acid and its respective anhydride is CH3CO. We have seen that the general formula is RCO twice O. So this is RCO, CH3CO, CH3CO twice O. So just replace this acid and add anhydride, ethanoic anhydride. And for the common thing also, cut the acid, acetic anhydride. So this way it is very simple compared to the previous one. So you just need to add anhydride from whatever the carboxylic acid it is derived from. Okay. Next, see the nomenclature of acid esters. So looking at the formula itself, RCOR prime, we can say that it is alkyl derivative of carboxylic acid. That means OH is replaced with R. So it is an alkyl is substituted in presence of CO group. As I said, this R and R prime can be same or different. Here, the IUPAC prefix and suffix are like this. So, it has a prefix as well as suffix. What is prefix? That means we have to add some name in front of the main carboxylic acid. What is the prefix? It is the alkyl group. So prefix will be the alkyl group. As I said, it is alkyl derivative. So whatever the alkyl group that you see as the derivative, it should be prefixed. And as we have seen, the suffix will be OH for the IUPAC system. Okay. So whatever the carboxylic acid parent acid is there, from that we have to cut oic acid and we have to replace it with OH. You can also have the parent hydrocarbon. For example, we will see that if you have the parent hydrocarbon, cut the E from the parent hydrocarbon alkane and add OH. Okay. And coming to the common system, we have the prefix as alkyl and suffix in place of ic acid, we have to add H. Let's see with the example. This is HCOCH3. Okay. HCOOCH3. So here we have HCOOCH3. So we have this methyl group as the derivative. So it is methyl derivative of what? Of 1 carbon carboxylic acid. So we have two ways. One, we have to take the parent acid, which is HCOOH. So methyl we have prefixed methyl and the parent acid is methanoic acid. So cut the oic acid and add OH. So methanoic acid. So it will become methanoate. Okay. So the IUPAC system will be methyl methanoate. Or you can simply take the 1 carbon hydrocarbon, which is methane. So methane, just cut the E and add OH. Okay. So it will be methyl methanoate. Both ways it is same. Okay. And coming to the common system, you have methyl, which is a prefix, and we have the formic acid as the common name for this HCOOH, which is the parent acid, and cut the ic acid, formic. So formic, from formic you have to cut ic and add H. So it will become formate. Therefore it will be methyl formate. Similarly, you can have acetic acid or ethanoic acid also. And IUPAC name, this will be the substituent ethyl. Sorry, there is a mistake here. It should be methyl. Okay. It should be methyl group. It should be also methyl group, Me, because the alkyl substituent we are seeing it, Me, methyl group, not C2H5. There is a typo mistake here. This is also methyl group. So for common system it is acetate and for IUPAC system it is ethanoate. Hope you have got the point. And next we will see the last acid derivative of our syllabus, that is acetamiide. When you see this, you can easily tell that acetamides are acyl derivatives of ammonia. We can easily know that NH3 is the formula of ammonia. And what is the formula of acetamiide? RCONH2. What is acyl? RCO. Okay, this is the acyl group. So just replace one hydrogen with RCO. We will get RCONH2. So IUPAC and common suffix will be, for both of them it is common. Okay. Okay. For both of them it is common. There is a typo mistake. Kindly sorry for that. IUPAC prefix and suffix. So it doesn't have any prefix here. So it has only suffixes. That means after the name we have to add. So just add amide in place of oic acid for IUPAC and amide in place of ic acid in the common system. Okay. So these are the examples. HCONH2. So you can easily see that NH2, it has the remaining part only one carbon, therefore it is an acid derivative of one carbon carboxylic acid, which is methanoic acid. So methanoic acid. So cut oic acid, cut the oic acid, cut oic acid, add amide. Okay, oic acid is cut and amide is added. Similarly, ic acid from the common name is cut and amide is added. So therefore, it will be formamide, it is methanamide. Okay, formamide and methanamide. Similarly, for this one also, when you have NH2, the remaining group has 2 carbons, therefore it is ethanoic acid, 2 carbon having carboxylic acid. Therefore, cut oic acid from the ethanoic acid and add amide. So it will be ethanamide. Similarly, ic acid, acetic acid from common name and add amide, it will be acetamide. Okay, so this way we easily nomenclate or give naming to these acid derivatives. So let us look at into each type of acid derivatives. First of all, let us start with acid halides. Okay. Acid halides. What are these acid halides? Acid halides are generally the halo derivatives of carboxylic acid. That means the OH group will be replaced with the halo group. Okay. And common acid halides are chlorides, as I said. Okay. Let us see the preparation of these acid halides. We have already seen, if you remember, this preparation at the chemical properties of carboxylic acid. Under which category? Under the properties of the reactions of OH group of COOH. Okay. So there we have seen that we have already told that the reactions of only H of COOH will show the acidic property, whereas the reactions of OH group of COOH will give you the acid derivatives. So we will just regain the knowledge. So preparation is basically the first method will be from carboxylic acid. How? Just by halogenation. So carboxylic acids, upon halogenation, this hydroxyl group of carboxylic acid will give you the halogen part where it undergoes halogenation. It is not alpha halogenation, it is the halogenation of carboxylic acid. We have seen that alpha halogenation occurs under the Hunsdiecker reaction. Okay. So therefore, what are the halogenating reagents here? You can have either the chlorides of phosphorus or thionyl chloride. Okay. So PCl5 in presence of a mild base such as pyridine, when it undergoes reaction with any carboxylic acid, it will give you acid halide. And if you remember, the best method will be reaction with thionyl chloride because it gives the side products both in gaseous way. That is SO2 and HCl. Both are gases. Whereas H3PO3 and POCl3, both all these are in either liquid or solid state. Therefore, this whatever the main product we need, it has to be purified by some purification methods. Whereas this case will give you a pure main product. Byproducts will be eliminated as gases. And we have other method too, that is from ketenes. So if you observe, what is a ketene? Ketene is, it is ene and as well as keto group. Okay. So it has a double bond with carbon and also double bond with oxygen. This is the general formula of ketene. Okay. So ketenes, upon addition of HCl, they will also give this acid chlorides. So you know that when this double bond of alkene group, undergoes nucleophilic addition, electrophilic addition, so chlorine will go to carbon and hydrogen will go to CH2 group, methylene group. So therefore, it will give you CH3COCl. So let us see the chemical properties of acid halides. So we have seen that these acid halides, this X group is a weak base. Therefore, it can be easily replaced with any other incoming nucleophile which is stronger than this corresponding halide group. And we know that these halo groups are having strong minus I, that is inductive effect. What is minus I? It is electron withdrawing nature, right? So these halogens, they will withdraw the electrons from the respective carbon which is attached to the carbonyl group and will make the carbonyl carbon highly electron deficient due to the strong minus I nature. And we also have this mesomeric group. As per mesomeric effect, these halo groups are weak electron releasing. Okay, so they are weak electron releasing and strong electron withdrawing. Of course, both direct towards the same thing. They release the electron very weak. At the same time, they withdraw electrons very strongly. So both these will commence the carbonyl group of acid to undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions. Hence, these will be used for acylation. Okay, what is acylation? I told you that acyl group is RCO. If you have CH3 in place of R, it will be called as acetylation. Okay, why? Because CH3COOH is acetic acid and CH3CO will be acetyl group. So, as I said, this will be replaced with the incoming nucleophile. Therefore, you will have this group added to incoming nucleophile, which is acetylation or acylation in respective cases. Okay. So, if you want to have this CH3CO functional group to be added somewhere, then you can happily use these acid chlorides because they are good. They are having good leaving groups of halogen. So, among various types of chemical properties in our syllabus, we have hydrolysis and also we have ammonolysis. So, what is hydrolysis? Hydrolysis is nothing but it is addition of water, or I can say reaction with water. As we have already seen in the introduction itself, these are derived from by the substitution of OH group of carboxylic acid with respect to other groups such as halogen, NH2 or etc. etc. Therefore, it can be brought back to the parent acid just by hydrolysis. So, acid halides upon addition with water will give you the parent acid from which it is derived. Okay. So, whatever the Cl group will be replaced with OH group. Okay. Cl group will be replaced with OH group. Hence, it will give you this carboxylic acid. If you remember, Cl is a weak base and OH, which is a nucleophile in this H2O, is a strong compared to Cl. Therefore, the OH minus, a stronger nucleophile, will replace the weaker base, which is a chloride, and will form you CH3COOH. So, this will result in the formation of carboxylic acid. So, I can say that the hydrolysis of acid halides result in the formation of carboxylic acids. The next reaction is ammonolysis. What is ammonolysis? Similar to hydrolysis, ammonolysis is nothing but it is reaction with water or addition of ammonia. So, hydrolysis is reaction with water, ammonolysis is reaction with ammonia. So, when you add ammonia, what happens? So, if you observe H2O and NH3, so both have a similar kind. H2O is a hydride of water and NH3 is a hydride of nitrogen. So, both will have the same type of nature in the reaction. So, NH3 is a strong base where NH2 minus is the base, conjugate base of it, and it will easily replace this weak base which is chloride ion. Therefore, it will give you RCO and H2 and HCl will be eliminated as a side product. So, here with hydrolysis you will get acetic acid which is a carboxylic acid as a product, whereas ammonolysis will give you amides as the products. So, I can say that acid halides upon hydrolysis will give you carboxylic acid, and acid halides upon ammonolysis will give you amides. So remember this thumbnail that RCOCl, that is acid halide, will give carboxylic acid on hydrolysis and will give amides on ammonolysis. Okay. So we can say that for the preparation of amide, this is one more preparation method, right? So next, let us get into next type of acid derivative, which is acid anhydride. Okay. And the general formula for acid anhydride is that RCOO COR. Okay. As we have seen that this RCOO COR, the name itself and anhydride itself, it suggests that it is derived by the dehydration or removal of water from the acid. So preparation, if you remember, we have already seen this preparation at the chemical properties of carboxylic acid, where we have emphasized on the reactions due to OH group. So how it is formed? As we have seen, it will be formed by dehydration of 2 monocarboxylic acid. So what is monocarboxylic acid? The one with one COOH group. So it has one COOH group, and take another molecule which has one COOH group, and if you treat this combination of two carboxylic acid in presence of a dehydrating agent such as concentrated H2SO4 or phosphorus pentoxide, both will act in the same way that it will remove this water molecule which is H2O. Okay, so they will remove this water molecule from two carboxylic acids. So this will be removed, H2O, and a new bond will be formed between this and this. So it will result in the formation of RCOO COR. This way it is a form. So this is anhydride. Why it is called anhydride? I hope you have understood now, because one water molecule is removed. Okay. So here is the general thing, and here is the specific, where you can have acetic anhydride formation from 2 moles of acetic acid. Okay. And we have other method also, which is from acid halides. We have just seen the acid halide, and acid halides, they upon reaction with the salt of carboxylic acid, they will result in the formation of acetic anhydride. This is specially a laboratory synthesis. What is the specialty of laboratory synthesis? Here you will have the purest form of the product with less number and least number of side products with higher yield. Okay. So in lab we use this. Whereas for industries we have the bulk production. So here in laboratory we need pure synthesis. So this way acid halide helps in generation of another acid derivative which is anhydride. So acid halide upon reaction with sodium acetate, which is the salt of carboxylic acid, will give you this acid anhydride. You can have any R group. In place of CH3 you can have C2H5, which is ethyl 1 or methyl 1 or whatever it may be. Okay. So whatever the acid halide and whatever may be the carboxylic acid salt, both will give you this way. So you can have the anhydride formation either purely from the carboxylic acid or by the combination of salt of carboxylic acid with acid chloride. Okay. So let us look into the chemical properties of acid anhydrides. The thing is that these acid anhydrides, they resemble as acid halides in most of the reactions. But only thing is that they are less reactive. As I said, they are certainly a little bit stronger acids stronger bases compared to the X. So therefore they will have a stronger bond. So it will take more energy to break that bond. Therefore it is comparatively a harder leaving group compared to halogen. Therefore less reactive compared to acid chlorides. But more or less, if we just give some boost to this reaction, they will also undergo reaction, but they are less reactive than this corresponding acid chlorides, but they show more similarity with the reactions of acid chlorides. These also undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions, and they are also used for this acylation and acetylation. As I said, it is less reactive compared to the acid halides. Therefore, they are carried out in presence of salt of carboxylic acid, which is sodium acetate, or concentrated H2SO4, so as to have some catalyst. Okay. Now, let us see the similar reactions as that of our acid halides. One is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, as I said, it is reaction with water. So, similar to carboxylic acid halides, acid anhydrides also, upon addition with water, they will give carboxylic acid. As I said, all the acid derivatives upon hydrolysis will result in the formation of carboxylic acids. Okay, and if you remember, this is similar to the acid halide reaction. And next is ammonolysis, that means reaction with ammonia. Acid anhydrides upon reaction with ammonia will give you acetamides. This is also similar to this acid halide. Therefore, we say that acid anhydride, they resemble the chemical properties of acid halide, and they are also used for acetylation and acylation. Just think that they need a catalyst, and whereas acid halides don't need any catalyst, they will just undergo the reaction very easily. Okay, so the thumb rule is that both acid halides and acid anhydrides, they undergo hydrolysis to give carboxylic acids, and they undergo ammonolysis to give amides. Let's conclude the class today for this, where in today's class we have seen the acid derivatives. What are the acid derivatives, how they differ from each other, and we have seen the nomenclature and general properties of acid derivatives, where we have seen the naming of all these acid derivatives with different type of prefixes and suffixes, and we have seen the general properties such as they undergo nucleophilic substitution based on their basicity. And next we have also seen the special properties of acid halides, where we have observed the preparation and also the chemical properties of this acid halides. In the preparation we have seen the preparation from carboxylic acids as well as from ketenes, and in the properties we have looked at the hydrolysis as well as ammonolysis. And last we have seen the properties and preparation of acid anhydrides. How they are prepared? They can be prepared by dehydration of carboxylic acid as well as by the reaction of sodium salt of carboxylic acid with acid halide. And properties we have seen similarity with acid halide, and similar to acid halide, they also give upon hydrolysis carboxylic acid are the products, and upon ammonolysis they will give amides as the products. So this is the conclusion for today's class. Definitely in the next class we will see the other two derivatives of carboxylic acid, that is esters and amides. Okay, so we will see both of them, how they are different from these acid derivatives which are halides and anhydrides. And in esters especially we have the mechanism of esterification and also the saponification, which are very important in view of point of your examination. So definitely we will complete this acid derivatives part in the next class. See you in the next class, and thank you for showing attention. And if you like the class, kindly do share your views in the comment section. It will help me to improvise myself. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye. Have a nice day.